Kelly Jack, the gaming identity handle, whatever, behind the guy behind Diefid Rex. And this is Semi-Trans we're playing. The Pak128 second try is not going so well. 60 some episodes in, and more than counting. 36 million in the hole at episode 61 when it starts. And it's not looking really good at all. Company's technically bankrupt, staying alive in receivership. The question is, and leave a comment on every video, when you think it's time to throw in the towel and go start a new company. Should we start a new company on this map exactly and compete with him, Three Forks, or should we just give it up and start a new game and admit defeat? 36 million is a lot to try to recoup, especially in Semi-Trans. I'm Callie Jack. Let's get going. Now boarding platform 1C, Pak128, second more serious try, episode 64, all aboard. And as we go into this new episode, sorry about the thump there. Hopefully I remember to edit it out. If it didn't hear a thump, then I did. So, we're working the big Prairie carbon and possibly work on the maiden to bring it up to the Iron Maiden from the Milk Maiden. And we'll also then service customers to both Bar None and, or workers, I should say, to Bar None and Big Prairie. Because of the distance to the railhead, it would be improper to take and do it to the Western Road Logistics transfer, the West transfer. So we're going to have to make this a straight shot. So that's going to require first a little bit of groundwork. And yes, I am still considering whether to do the announced but not yet scheduled, how shall I put this, change of my line or my gaming from Pak128 regular game to a Pak128 explainer session down the road. I am working on what needs to be addressed, what can be done with the tools we have, and what cannot be done and would need to be, smoothed out so more people can enjoy the game. I ain't gonna demand that they do it. It's, hey, these here are what I see. And again, I'm going to start with just cheap 60 line back inside the yard. 2 of these will be production, 1 will be passenger service. Do our outbound line here. And let's set up how big of a station we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, we can do a 7th length train now. This promises to be far different than what we've done up till now. Out here, I'm just going to do initially a simple little station like we've been doing for the passengers. And because this needs to be pretty much just a straight shot into this point, I'm going to go ahead and connect him up. I got a line break there. Now, we do need to jog a little bit over to come to this point. And same here. Just a tiny little jog. At the same time, I don't think I really need the full length of that jog, so let's go ahead and take it out. I just realized what we're going to be doing here is it's going to be a double coming out and same on this side. So we'll have to do a dig to get it down and make it connect up correctly. So this is going to do something like this, and then there'll be a double line here right out of it. And then we'll need another double right in here. So we'll have to figure out how we're going to do this, which side the rail is going to shift to. Do our dig, or our fill, I should say. We will bring down a little bit early. Smooth this so we can do the jog. And then we will have them reconnect after the junction. Go ahead and blow that section of rail. Over here, it's going to be a dig. There we go. And then change that to slope down. Yes, there is a cheaper way to take and do it straight the original way that you're planning to. No, I'm not going to do that every time. There we go. And then we kind of need a section like that. Connects up. We've got some extraneous way objects here. We've got some remaining, there we go, stuff. Now we'll bring it up to the 140 line we're using along here. Leaving it double through the two junctions for a reason. And that's the road. This now makes it so that I do want to take out the road. So not having everything showing on it right now, and we can double check that by clicking on either side, zero convoys, zero convoys. Okay. So now we can take and build this up differently. So take out the road. Then grab us a 110 bridge. Oops, that's elevated bridge. Ooh. Can't do it. Okay, there we go. I think the 110 actually you have to do a raised ground on either side. Back to our rail upgrade along here. We would then do another siding right about here. And then speed up the line down to it, but leave the tracks in the actual station except for the passenger train slower. I don't mind slowing down. Now, we are going to do a platform choose right about there, coming in, with a remove the platform or deny that choice to this one, signal set. So it will not choose that. That's for the passenger only. That'll prevent us from having any issues with down the road if we expand it. Get our signals in. We need to fix, this was my big mistake last time around, was I left a signal in the junction, and that blocks a direction. Now we can take that section of rail out, reconnect up. Signals are okay there. Now we just need to do signals on this stretch here. Make certain we're good up here. We are. And now we can get things into our setup here at the Lock and Graze lasers. Another thing we're going to do is we are going to add a small amount of rail at Lock and Graziers, because if I remember right, somebody goes through right here. And we're going to give him his own platform. Close the road. Do one container, two container, there we go. Sort of make it look like it's a real freight yard now. So there's 5, 6, and 7. And we are going to do a remove rail section. Actually, I've got a better idea. Do I have a end of line signal? No. So we will remove the section of rail. Section? Oh, scary. So we got our 7 station there, which is all we need. We will need to do a bridge across to give it a second exit so that it's a cleaner exit for this down the road. But for right now, we'll leave it on the single and see how it works. Let's get this guy rolling. So look for our closest dispatch yard, which is going to be over here at Three Forks Central. And we need to choose a good vehicle. The Maryland and the Yankee have the same speed, so I really don't see a need for them yet. Kind of looking to see if I've got anything that does 140, and we do. The eggs. 314 versus $1.29 though, but the power is nearly, it's over double. So let's see how many cars we can put behind. Again, we want this to be a long train, and then we're going to put a locomotive at the back end. Nope, can't do. So we'll add an extra to the front to keep it at a max speed of 105. Well, we got an issue then. Cars are limited to 105. Why do the more pricey engines? Good point. Let's just stick with some Yankees. Three Yankees, 97 versus the 105 top. I can live with that for coal. Going to bring it out here. Oop. Let the stations build. Park him in. %, the load. That's our big Prairie to lock and Collier. And we will start that train rolling. Should have copied it, shouldn't I? Oh, that's okay. So again, going to go in. 3 Yankees, we found that out through our research on it. And to keep it slightly faster, I'm going to stop it at 100. Put it also on that same Collier line and see what we can do. 2 of those taken care of. Now it's time to start work on the passenger part. We're going to do just 3 sheltered platforms, cheaper ones. These guys here, 64 versus the big 128. Savings is about $50 a month per tile. So I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to speed up the line into Dundee. And we will be eliminating a portion of that. Again, I wish I had my rail closed sign. Got everything rolling good. We might have to do a connect up where we fix this here in the near future so that we can get the run we want. Maybe just do a dig to level, bring him over and connect him up as a double the whole distance. We'll see how things flow. Okay, so we did the Dundee. We also need to consider Carlisle. But Carlisle, you know what? We can get there. That's interesting. That is a good. And then we can bridge this. Nice. Okay, let's do that. And because I'm anticipating a lot of traffic on this, we're going to go ahead and double that section up. Again, costs, but at the same time, we're looking for is improvements. To our flow. And with this, I think this little section of rail right there can come out. As well. There we go. And again, I do want to have faster rail service into our stations now. And we're going to build and upgrade our station here. At our little community. And I do want to know, do I need a around? Yeah. 2 convoys. I think those are both passengers. Yes, they're both the passengers. Okay, so I ain't going to worry about it. Now it's time to choose what we're going to put on the line. And passenger trains can be interesting here. I don't really see a need for the mail yet. I've got a motor car that we need to sell. Okay. We've got a Mighty Duck and his vehicles. We also have something much faster that I'm going to try, the Talgo regional cars. And we now have the Donald Duck for a new diesel engine one that goes considerably faster than the Mighty Duck. 110? Oh yeah. Let's set up a simple duck, and he's going to go from here to here, 50% load. I don't care if he carries more than 50 right now. Down the road, we might extend this down to the maiden to be what brings in the passengers there. Promote that to a line, and we're going to call this the, instead of that, we're going to call this the we're going to call this the Fire Drake for now. Drake being a male duck, but also a dragon. Start that on its run, and now we need to ignore all the new vehicles for a moment because a lot of them are things we're not doing yet. Someday I'm going to do one where I get to the air without going bankrupt. Now we need to connect up Carlisle and that community better. And I think the best way to do that is road service. And then we need a 90-mile-an-hour bridge, or 90-click-an-hour bridge. Gets us over. We need a sheltered bus stop here. And I want to upgrade this one to sheltered because people are going to be waiting there. And let's see what we can do for a good bus that does about 90. 70, but pricey, 52, 55. That's male. I want to see it by speed. Max speed, there we go. So 52, and then these two each do 70. Cruiser only carries 24, but he's only 28 cents. So just a little over a penny per customer. Yeah, there's our vehicle. And we'll have him go all the way into town and turn back around. Call that the DNC's Connects bus. We'll copy him. And then on this guy, we're going to send him to the far end and send him to Dundee first. There we go. Should have probably done it the other way around, but we'll see. Yeah, they're going to hit the buses at the same time. Darn. Okay. When we get over here, we're going to speed them up. Slow them the heck down. I'm going to talk to this back bus for a second. And you can hold the bus to take and get some spread by just looking at that individual bus's schedule. I'm going to let him get almost over to town. That should give us enough space in the future to actually pick up and generate customers. That's a good spot right about. Let him turn around. There. That'll give us some separation. They will bunch up over time and we'll have to re-separate them. Now we need to to find out what's going on here, and this line here is going to need waypoints. So we're going to add a waypoint and tell that train to go to that waypoint, and then here we're going to insert a waypoint. So what we'll do next is, knowing this, come to this line, fix the schedule. So we're going to add a waypoint, and then we're going to also insert a waypoint. And because we put in a waypoint, we want to know that we've got a waypoint there. I am going to leave a waypoint marker, Dundee bypass. Now we should be able to tell this guy, go to that waypoint. And then this guy, Lockins, is also going to need To utilize the same stunt, we're going to need to add a bypass point. Oops. Come back to this guy. Now he should be safe. Tell him to utilize the waypoint. Okay, we got to find out which one we're on here. He is the Bar None. Okay. So, whoops. You. Schedule. And the Bar None is line 50. Faster to go this way. There it was. And you want to go to that waypoint, please. There we go. Run him. That should do it. And down the road, we can add a second line here and double this up the whole way. Make this come in back about here at the bypass so that nobody tries to use where the train's going to block. There goes our run for the first run on the passenger line. Got a bunch of crowded stations, but I'm not seeing is the sticky note ones. All right, we are looking considerably better. It's been a long run. We didn't get to adding in for the maiden down here, but we do have the Bar None, and we should probably consider a spur over, or let the Bar None come over to here and then come back in here. And I think that's going to be a good idea. Let's do it. It's going to be a long episode, guys. I'm sorry. And then, like I said, let's just do it this way. What am I doing? I am reconfiguring the line to straighten it. And allow a double tracking here because it's going to need it. Can't find a route. Oh, we got a line break. That'll at least get it in. Let's hurry. And while he's trying to find his route, lay in the answer line. There we go. And get a signal on him. And we now have a much better setup for that and can put in the passenger station that we need here. Find this guy, go to the fire drake, and he can keep going, but we are going to adjust his schedule. So the added stop on its way to there is there. And then we are going to, in the future, insert a stop there. Go. We've got a break in the line. We got to address before we go any further. It was right there. And we need signaling. Here. And this is not enough to take and make it, so we do need to extend by one that. And let's see if it will let me blow it or whether I've got to turn somebody around. Nope. So we'll need to extend our signal here somehow. Let's cheat. He can go back. Now I can swip him around. Once he's clear, we can destroy this segment of rail and relay it as straight, and then pull the signal up to here. Didn't have quite long enough of a sighting. Take the signal out, bring it up to there, so that we know that they've got the cushion room. All right, that should be it. Very long episode. Hopefully you can see that we are trying to make money. Hopefully this actually does do something. For the year, we're looking bad. For the monthlies, still coming down. It's still a downward trend from where we were to where we're at, the range we're running in now. So until these lines stabilize out, or we can add yet one more Collier, which I could probably get away with. I could probably get away with a third Collier. Onto that line, but we'll do that. Now let's do it. Get the third Collier coal train running, and we will also sell these two guys here while we're at it. So we went with Yankees because of the power. And we're going to make it one shorter. And again, that goes on to the Big Prairie Lock and Collier. All right. Hopefully these two things, by getting passengers going to these two sites so workers can get to work, will expand the capabilities of those production facilities and make it so we can carry longer freight trains on the milk run and maybe even better, more trains on each line and keep them steadily rolling. All right, guys. That's it for this episode. End of the line for second more serious try on Pak128 Semi-Trans. Thanks for riding along, guys. Hey, and feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below, and most importantly, have a better day than I'm having.